first of all, personally, my condolences on the passing of Mom.
Thank you.
The outpouring of support and love from friends, even fans. What kind of impact did that make on you?
You know, the cliche response is that it was overwhelming, but that's what it was. We had people come to the visitation who said, "Oh, I never knew her. Just want to pay my respects," or, you know, "I saw how she carried herself. Thought I should be here." So, the whole family was blown away by that.
I was going to say at that point, you know, someone asked me about the influence that Mom had on the NFL, and I said, for a Bears fan like myself, or my dad who had passed already, season ticket holder since the 60s, she's always had this incredible influence on us. You were with her all the time, but at that point, you know, sometimes when we lose people, we realize even more of the impact that they made in this world, right?
Yeah, and it's amazing the extent of the influence when you consider her style. She was not outspoken. She didn't draw attention to herself. All she did was quietly walk the mile and bear the load, as they say.
She was a woman of grace.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time. I always have the utmost respect and pleasure of talking to you.
Thank you.
Can we talk a little football?
Sure.
How excited are you? I mean, the Bears won the offseason.
Yeah, that's great, but
Right.
we need to win in season, and we haven't done enough of that. And that's got to change.
What about the position that Ryan has put this franchise in as we get set for the draft? Are you happy?
Yeah, very excited. As I told your colleagues, I like the big guys. I like building a team by strengthening the offensive line and defensive line. You saw it in the Super Bowl. Philly's defensive line took over that game, and that can happen. By the same token, you saw the Bears teams of the 80s when we led the league in rushing 4 years in a row. An offensive line can dominate a game, can set the entire tone of the game. So the prospect of that is very exciting.
Yeah, you referenced Jim Finks. You and I were old enough to watch Finks build the Bears into a Super Bowl winner. But I had a guy in Detroit, Dan Mittler, voice of the Lions, tell me, hey man, with Ben Johnson, they may go running back or tight end at number 10. So you got to use your influence in that draft room. Hey, keep it to the trenches.
Bears fans should be very relieved to know that I have zero influence in the draft room. That's why we have Ryan and Ben.
Tell me what you love about Ben, now that you've had 2.5 months to spend time with him.
His intensity, his competitiveness, his intelligence, his friendliness. Guy's got a great smile.
Yeah.
He loves life. And you can tell that he's very excited about this opportunity. And all of us are very excited to see what comes of it.
Through the coaching process, George, something was done by the organization that had never been done, and that was making a change in the middle of last season. How difficult was that for you to embrace when it was proposed, before it happened?
Well, I think much was made about the Bears have never done this, and it wasn't like we were trying to keep some dubious streak going. I think you evaluate each situation on its own terms, and if it's not right, you don't do it, and if it needs to be done, then you do it.
Do you think it helped in the process? Because it gave the organization more time to sit, game plan, put together a list of potential candidates?
I've heard that theory when other teams have let a coach go, and necessarily subscribe to it. The NFL has structures in place now designed to slow down the process to make sure that teams are making good decisions and that a variety of candidates are being considered. So I don't see that as much of a factor.
Tell me what kind of impact Kevin has made on this organization. You touched on it with my colleagues that his style wasn't something you had worked with in the past. Talk about the impact that he's made on the organization.
Well, you saw it here this morning.
Yeah, yeah.
The energy, the enthusiasm, the positivity. Sometimes it's difficult to keep up with him because he's always pushing forward, not just in the stadium realm, but across all facets of the organization.
He's built quite an infrastructure
Yeah.
within the organization as well. He's brought in really good people to work for this franchise as well, correct?
Yeah, and I asked him, did you get everybody you wanted? And he said, yeah. So now it's time to go to work.
Now it's time to go to work and win a championship. Let's talk about the stadium. We've learned that really the focus has become Arlington Heights now. How do you feel about it?
I wouldn't say the focus. We're still evaluating downtown. We're making progress with Arlington. But I would say both are still in play.
Is the process moving fast enough for you? You, I'm sure, had a goal, a timeline. Do you like the way the progress has taken place on the whole stadium as a whole?
Yeah. You have to understand that these things take time. It's a long, complicated process. There are a lot of constituencies to consider, a lot of dynamics to consider, and it takes time.
You've been, obviously, since we've been in Soldier Field since the 70s, so you've been, part of this. I live across the street. I've been, I'll never forget, as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old walking in my snowmobile outfit with Dad to the games. Is there a special place in your heart for it to remain home of the Bears, right on the lakefront?
Well, I grew up at Wrigley.
Yeah,
Some great memories there, and it was an outstanding place to watch a football game because you were so close to the action. I mean, Wrigley, one of the end zones wasn't even 10 yards deep. That's how tight the dimensions were. So you were right on top of the action. People said they could, hear the punter's foot striking the ball. So we were there for 50 years. A lot of great memories. We're at Soldier Field now for 50 plus years. A lot of great memories. And we hope we're in a new stadium for 50 years.
Shovel in the ground, 2025?
That's the goal.
That's what you want as well?
Oh, yeah.
Does everyone feel the same? Is everyone on the same page? Has there been one person that'll make that decision? Is there a group? If someone says, I'd rather it be on the lakefront, not Arlington Heights, how does that work out when it comes to a final call?
Well, wherever it is, we have to convince the governor and the General Assembly that it'll be great for the great state of Illinois.
You and I have talked in the past, and you've said, Lou, as long as I'm around, I will be the owner of the Bears. Does that still hold true?
I don't think I ever said I will be the owner
Not
of the
you,
Bears.
not you, but I take that back, that there wasn't an interest in selling the franchise.
We have no intention of selling.
Things will remain the same.
That's the plan.
And you will be the chairman.
That's the plan.
Give me, as I wrap this up with you, give me a headline. You're a former TV guy. Give me a headline for the 2025 season. And it can be play on the field. It can be the new stadium. What do you think it'll be?
Canellis predicts Bears Super Bowl victory.
In?
This year, come on.
Whoa! All right. You're
Why
putting
not?
words in my mouth. Hey, listen, man, you know me. I'm all for it. I want it to happen sooner than later.
Yeah.
Never know how long. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
I appreciate you, George.
Thank you. Go Bears.
I appreciate it.